Attention. Welcome to the Different Spectrums podcast. We dive into the wild world of mental health discussions. Get ready for profound talks, a sprinkle of humor and sarcasm, and a touch of colorful language. Just a quick heads up, our show reflects our individual opinions, which may not align with the standpoint of the podcast, our featured guests, or any related corporate entities. Our mission? To illuminate through laughter and satire because everyone needs a good chuckle. Chill out and don't stress over the small stuff. Legal troubles? No, thank you. Cancel culture? Please spare us. We'd rather keep this space lawsuit free. So buckle up, have a good time, and join us as we navigate the vibrant realm of mental health on the Different Spectrums podcast. Hey everybody, we back again.
We back at it.
I'm Spencer. Of course, we have our licensed clinical therapist, Nas.
Dr. Nasty Draws Nas.
This is true. Remember, hey, don't take us too seriously.
Or do. That's up to you.
Dumbass. I swear to God.
I was like, are we supposed to say something here?
Yeah, man. What did they? Also, don't forget to run up those likes for us. We'd really appreciate it.
Love a good thumb.
Yes. So, today we are talking about the movie Ted. Yes, featuring Mike Wahlberg and the great Seth MacFarlane. We're going to be talking about a few things today. Few including anxiety in the nighttime, some race and gender topics that we're going to be bringing up, self-sabotage, accountability, and therapy and what it can do to you.
So. It's not going to make you better, that's for sure.
Oh my God.
It's gonna make you a little delayed.
It's gonna slow you down a little bit. I'm down if you are.
My God. Is this where I take over now?
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. What we got going on now?
Yeah, so we're going to hop into the scenes. Today is going to be a Monday pod. We're going to have some fun with this pod. And then the pod that comes out after that will be Ninja Turtles. Will also be a lot of fun. So, strap in. Strap it on. Strap it on.
Why strap anything?
We're going to peg along this road today.
Peg along? It's not even a saying, you dummy.
We're gonna pogo stick down the street.
Oh my God!
Right down
ass fuck lane.
Ass Valley. But no, we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna talk about some legit worries at nighttime, some anxieties. We're gonna talk about how men may relate and may get things off the chest, may get into some fights and arguments, but then they're like best friends still after that. It's a little bit different between the genders. But specifically, I think it'll be real interesting to talk about accountability and blaming others, maybe enabling. What do these things mean? And how do you know and take accountability and make changes instead of just blaming others? Okay. Well, that's going to be the deepest part today. Excited to get into it. I assume there's going to be a lot of profanity and weird things for this week and next week because I'm in a good mood and I want to be in a good mood. So yes. Strap it on. Whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop.
Click.
Hey everyone, have you been looking for something to help you when you feel extra fidgety? How about when you have a sensory overload? Well, I'm here to introduce you to the Oh No Fidget Roller. It helps me regulate and also feel at ease. The Oh No Roller comes in 5 different materials, including plastic, aluminum, steel, titanium, and silicone. You can use our code DSP10 to get 10% off your order when you visit onoroller.com and get your roll on.
I don't understand. 35 years old, and you're still scared of a little thunder.
I am not.
Thunder buddies for life, right, Johnny?
Fucking right.
All right, come on, let's sing the thunder song.
All right.
When you hear the sound of thunder, don't you get too scared. Just grab your thunder buddy and say these magic words. Fuck you, thunder, you can suck my dick. You can't get me thunder, cause you're just God's farts. Oh! See, that's why I watch these things. That's like a cool behind-the-scenes thing that you wouldn't know. Oh, hey, let's try this. I told my weed guy to step it up, and he gave me that.
What is it?
It's called Mind Rape. It's actually pretty mellow.
It doesn't sound very mellow.
Well, he only had 3 other batches. Gorilla Panic, They're Coming, and something called This Is Permanent. Come on, spark it up. There you go. You got it. Nice. Good, huh? Good job.
Yeah.
Take pride in that.
You know, this place looks great.
Oh, thanks, man. It's all IKEA. Did the whole place for $47.
Nice.
Yeah.
How are the neighbors?
You know, there's an Asian family living next door, but they don't have a gong or nothing, so it's not too bad.
That's lucky.
Yeah, it is. How's work?
Sucks.
Yeah.
You?
Yeah, you know, not bad, actually. I met a girl. She's a cashier.
No way, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we should fucking double date or something. You, me, and Laurie, and what's her name?
White trash name. Guess.
Mandy.
Nope.
Marilyn.
Nope.
Brittany.
Nope.
Tiffany.
Nope.
Candace.
Nope.
Don't fuck with me on this. I know
not-
this shit.
Do you see me fucking with you? I'm not,
All right, speed round. I'm gonna rattle off some names, and when I hit
You
it,
do
fucking
it.
buzz it, okay?
I will tell
You
you.
got me?
Yeah.
All right, Brandy, Heather, Channing, Brianna, Amber, Sabrina, Melody, Dakota, Sierra, Bambi, Crystal, Samantha, Autumn, Ruby, Taylor, Tara, Tammy, Lauren, Charlene, Chantel, Courtney, Misty, Jenny, Krista, Mindy, Noelle, Shelby, Trina, Reba, Cassandra, Nikki, Kelsey, Shauna, Jolene, Erlene, Claudine, Savannah, Casey, Dolly, Kendra, Kylie, Chloe, Devin, Emily, fucking Becky?
Nope.
Wait, was it any one of those names with a Lynn after it?
Yes.
Oh, I got you, motherfucker. I got you. Okay. Brandy Lynn, Heather Lynn,
Tammy Lynn.
Fuck!
Hey, Johnny. It's me.
Go away.
Johnny, open the door, please. I want to talk.
Jesus Christ! What the fuck, man?
Sorry, look, Johnny, I know you're pissed, all right? But just listen to me for 5 seconds. I saw Laurie leaving the apartment with Rex.
What?
I'm serious, John. I went over to talk to her and maybe take some of the heat off you, and there he was, picking her up. They were going to the hatch shell.
You're fucking unbelievable, you know that? I mean, how stupid do you think I am? If you think that by making shit like that up, you're gonna make me choose some kind of loyalty to you over her, you're out of your fucking
Johnny,
mind.
it's the truth, I'm telling you.
You know what? Get out of here.
You know, you're acting like a cock. You know that?
What? I'm acting like a cock?
Yes, you are. So shut your meat hole for a second and listen to me.
Huh?
Meat hole? What is that? Well, that's not right, is it? No. Pudding hole? Is that what they say? Is that what? No, it can't be that either, right? Because how can you have any pudding if you don't eat your meat? Right? This the Pink Floyd thing. Look, the point is, you're blaming me for something that you did to yourself. Laurie was right about you. You cannot take responsibility for anything that goes on in your life.
Oh, and you can?
I don't have to. I'm a fucking teddy bear. You know something? I didn't tie you up and drag you to that party. All right? I wanted you to come because you're supposedly my best friend.
You can't stand there and tell me you haven't always seen Laurie as a threat to our friendship. I mean, it works out so much better for you when you and I are getting fucked up on the couch at 9 a.m., doesn't it?
Listen to yourself. What am I, Emperor Ming here, controlling your mind? That's your choice, John. And you know, by blaming me, you're just making yourself look like a pussy.
You know, sometimes I think back to that Christmas morning when I was 8 years old. I wish I'd just gotten a Teddy Ruxpin.
Say that one more time.
Teddy Rux's fucking pin!
Why are you crying?
My dick is squished by the TV.
I'm so sorry, Johnny.
Oh my man.
I love you.
I love you too.
Listen, you gotta let me help you make things right with you and Laurie.
There's no putting things right. She fucking hates me.
No, John, we can get her back. Look, you remember when you were 10 and you hit that squirrel with your BB gun, and then when we saw it fall from the tree, we both started crying? You remember? And then we ran up to it and we tried to give it CPR and it came back to life? John, we could do that again.
Ted, we crushed its rib cage and blew out its lungs trying to give it CPR. It died.
Come on. We're going to the hat shop.
Ted!
I'm alive, Johnny.
Oh my God!
I'm alive. Your magical wish worked.
You're back!
Yeah, I mean, you know, when you showed me up, you put some of the stuffing in the wrong places, so I'm a little fucked up. But will you take care of me forever and ever? Nah, I'm just kidding you. I thought it'd be funny if you thought I was fucking retarded.
You asshole!
Come here, you bastard. Ha 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 ha.
Welcome back, Ted.
Hey everyone, I'm here to talk about our new collaborator, Toink Toys. They have a wide selection of, you guessed it, toys and other great collectibles. They have products from Marvel, Star Wars, Harry Potter, and everything pop culture. You could say they put the toy in Toink. So go check them out at toink.com and use our code Different Spectrums Podcast to get 10% off your entire order today. And we back again.
We're back and we're live. I'm good.
Nothing? No.
Oh,
no,
we're back and we're live is
God, it's not like we haven't been doing this for like a year.
Hey, to be real, we haven't done a pod in like, a week and a half, 2 weeks. I don't know.
See, all it takes is a week and a half.
It takes a week and a half. Hey, man. I forgot to do this. We back as live as, I don't know. But Donald Trump, he's about to be our next president. Back with live.
God.
I'm sorry, people. Just accept it.
Jesus. All right. Before we get into
Hey,
it,
I don't like it. It's just happening. I'm just saying.
before we get into it, check out our new collaborator, Oh No Rollers. Check them out. They're great if you're anxious, if you're fidgety. You can just roll them like that. I've actually seen. I have the aluminum one, so if you can actually do a trick where you put it in the freezer, and it actually cools off, and then you can put it on your skin to help relax you. Yes.
There you go. You can also work on your grip strength.
Why do you need to work on that? Huh?
Every once in a while you gotta grab onto a thick one.
Thick what? Thick one?
A thick one.
What?
It's a handful. You just make sure your grip is tight. Everyone needs a good grip.
Oh my God. Anyways, go check out ohnoroller.com and use our code DSB10 to get 10% off your entire order if you order one of these bad boys. And they're actually really, really addicting to use. Also, anybody who has like arthritis in their hands, also helpful for that too as well.
Yeah,
So.
on the real talk, my father does love it for his arthritis. And someone loved it so much in my office that they stole it.
They're like, wow, this is mine now.
Yeah, this is mine. Fuck your office.
All right, so go check them out, please, and use our code. So there you go. All right. So What is Ted all about? What if a teddy bear came alive in probably one of the most racist northern states in America?
Jesus.
It's true.
It's true.
It's fucking true. It's Boston. Fuck. Ain't no way to listen out there. We gonna listen to the.
Oh my God.
That's them saying it. I didn't say
You
it.
didn't
They
say
did.
it. Yeah, you
I
appropriated
didn't say it.
racism.
They
Yep.
did.
Mhm.
I do things. And so, all right, Ted is it's a teddy bear that comes alive from Mac Wahlberg's perspective. And yeah, he becomes this famous bear, but then all of a sudden he loses his fame, and so now he's just a living bear with his friend John. Uh and they're just, going through life kind of steady. They're um not really doing anything to really inspire people or to do anything. They're just there, right? And so that's where we kind of go into our first scene with Thunder Buddies. So they actually have been, like I said, they've been friends ever since John was a kid and wished that he had a teddy bear who was alive because he didn't have any friends at all. And so now we get to see um, John as a grown up still using his Thunder Buddy, no matter what, still scared of the thunder.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, I mean,
exactly.
I got a Thunder Buddy. It's in my bedside table.
Is it a gun? Is it a dildo? What is it?
Hey, could be used as both.
Thunder, all right. Let me show you.
You hit him in the head with it.
It's a heavy one.
Hey, it's thick.
Made my fucking asshole droop.
Oh my God. Okay. So therapy. So Ted's autistic because he's talking to fucking animals when he's young, and he's still playing around with his animal when he's young. So he's got anyone who's got a lot of stuffed animals, probably autistic.
Okay.
Probably autistic.
Well, and the fact that, even so, there's a scene in the beginning where they show John as a kid, and they have all these bullies beating up this one kid,
Okay.
right? And John's like, "Hey guys, what are y'all doing? Can I come play?" And they're like, "No." Even like the kid getting beat up is like, "Get the fuck out of here, John!
Jeez.
Get out of here!" So he had negative friends.
Okay.
Even the bullied kids didn't want to be his friends.
So one of the reasons why he had the stuffed animal. So with that comes a lot of anxiety, a lot of dysphoria, specifically at nighttime. There's a lot of folks that are scared at night, right? It's kind of terrifying. It's dark. There's loud noises, or if you're hypersensitive to things, everything's super quiet, and then you hear little creaks. It can get really weird. But specifically thunder, there are folks that are terrified of that. And right, this is showing like companionship and someone else like being scared of that.
Mhm.
I would assume that, let's say that the animal isn't real. This is real life. Then that animal provides like safety, or that teddy bear provided safety when they were young. So maybe they were scared of the dark or scared of thunder when they were young. But now it perpetuates later in life. And what I have is a lot of clients, Spence, with, these baby blankets or baby pillows. Baby blankets, I've seen some really fucking tattered up baby blankets as baby pillows. But with them, people are knocked out sleep. They're comfortable. They're safe, right? They're just content, right? It's the texture. It's the smell. It's what it represents. And I picture Ted as a visual representation of like baby blanket, baby pillow. Maybe it's a squishmallow, right? I got a big one in the office. Maybe it's a gift that their mother gave them or father gave them. Maybe it's something that their romantic partner gave them, and provides that safety at night. It provides that ability to regulate if you wake up from a nightmare. So that immediately that's what I'm thinking of. I'm not thinking of the teddy bear actually being real. I mean, technically it could be like a best friend, or it could be like a child going to help its, or like a parent going to help its child. I mean, but in my mind, it's a object relationship or object relations theory on how things can calm us and regulate us. And as we know, a lot of folks with high anxiety issues, attachment issues, right, homesickness, depression, specifically autism, you get attached to things. And to have that certain thing, that certain texture, it's magnificent.
Right.
I know for me, I got 2 pillows here, right? And, one of them has one pillowcase on it and it's awesome and it's soft. But like that fucking thing heats up so fast. Where the other one just stays cool, man. I'll just be passed out.
Yeah.
Passed out. Textures and temperature, that mean a lot. And so, at nighttime, those things mean a lot for a lot of folks, specifically if you are neurodivergent. Everything matters.
Mm-hmm.
I had a client the other day, Spence, and they said, I can't believe it's all related. I said, everything's related, man. I said, remember that one time you took that shit and you only wiped twice, you should have wiped 3 times? It's all related.
It's all related. Universe.
It's all related. Remember?
Flat.
It's flat. Remember that one you stepped on a crack, broke your mother's back. But in actuality, many things are related. So with that client, we were talking about breathing. We were talking about childhood experiences. We were talking about breathing when you're playing sports and athletics and weightlifting versus breathing when you're going into the competition and regulating yourself. We're talking about breathing when you're going into a difficult conversation and an argument to like regulate. And I said, it's fine that you're breathing when you're lifting, but that's a different type of breathing. When you're lifting 400 pounds and squatting 400 pounds, that's a different type of breathing compared to I need you to relax and not freak out to calm down.
Mm-hmm.
Different types of breathing there, brother. And they're like, damn, man. So just everything's tied in together. Yep. The baby pillow.
Baby pillow.
It's a circle.
So in this case, I think, especially with Seth MacFarlane was kind of going for, like just having that attachment, obviously, like we just talked about, with objects that, we can deal with in our childhood. And maybe we grow out of those things, but sometimes we don't. And so in this case, John, he doesn't grown out of being with his teddy bear.
Nope.
What do you kind of think about having that? Like when, is there a certain age where you can kind of grow out of those things, or do you still kind of go for, if that makes you happy or feel safe, keep on with it?
So it's both. Like a lot of people do grow out of those things because they find other things to replace it.
Right.
But
in this case with John, it's like, a partner. Right.
And he didn't really find maybe more friends to replace the teddy bear to give him that security. Imagine him being this little neurodivergent individual, ADHD, mental health issues, schizophrenia, autism, whatever it is. And everyone kept rejecting him. But you have this item or this entity or this person that always stays with you. And so that's just what you go with.
Mm-hmm.
That's just what you go with. And so you never form other deeper attachments because it just never fully works out. And then eventually you just give up.
Mm-hmm.
The rejection becomes so much and the anxiety becomes so much that you're going to get rejected. So you just give up. And so you have that one thing that makes you happy. So fuck it, let it ride. Or some folks will have both. Well, they'll have that one secure anchor no matter what. There's always that anchor in their life. A lot of people, it's their parents, something like that. And then they'll also have a good support system around them. And then some people will have nothing. They won't have that object. They won't have anything to help them regulate. And they're just kind of screwed on an island. I was talking about you and Colin the other day to a client. I said, you got no anchor, kid. He said, well, I got an anchor. I said, I don't need to go talk to no one else, right? They go this or that, right? And people think that I'm their friend, and I'm friendly, but I ain't fucking ever going to hang out with you, man. Fuck yourself, man. And they were like, why? You're going to be alone? I said, no, I got 2 people I talk to. That's enough. I can't even keep up with all the DMs in my Instagram. Yeah. So I have an anchor, and you have anchors, and you've had anchors in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly, a lot of folks don't. And so they might lean on objects. They might lean on the video games or movies or anime. They might lose themselves in the fictional world of, cartoons or books. I have one client that reads like hundreds of books per year because that's where they lose themselves and they feel comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
But they have deregulated relationships with everyone else because they're not the best at initiating conversations. So Spence, they could have that object. They could have a bunch of friends. They could have both. They could have none. So it's technically 4 realities.
Right.
None of them are wrong. Whatever
Right.
works. And if you're the therapist, then you're just going to try and add more shit to the pie and see if it makes them more happy.
Right. Sounds to me. Okay. And I think kind of talking about that topic of, especially with you and how like you have your close friends and things like that. Kind of going on to the next scene where they're kind of sitting on the couch, and they're chilling. They're chilling. They got a little bit of the kush kush.
The devil's lettuce.
That spicy oregano.
Yeah. This is a cigarette.
This cig of weed.
It's the weed.
Rush Hour, great movie.
Yep.
Go check it out. So I'm kind of talking about that. How can you do you have these moments where you just obviously we have these moments where we're kind of just chilling, just talking about nonsense.
Nothing.
We could talk about nonsense for days,
Days.
and just keep it going.
Yeah.
Do you kind of see that with any other type of people?
Specifically, there's only one version of people I see this go with, and it's straight up. It's going to be neurodivergent people with neurodivergent people, specifically either autistic with autistic or ADHD with ADHD. You will see the tangential spider web of shit just go and go and go and go.
Yeah.
Like with me and clients, I'd be like, hey man, why are we talking about? What we talking about? Kango hats. I don't even know how the fuck we got it.
Kango hats.
Motherfucker, weren't you just talking about suicide a minute? Like, I swear I just took the knife out your hand. Now we talking about you look good in the Kango hat. Hey.
They're coming back.
They're coming back. I have no idea how this shit happens sometimes.
Yeah.
I'd be like, where are we? Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm obviously with your type of setting, it's a lot different, because in some cases you want to stay on topic, and in others you want to, maybe delve into another topic, right?
So it depends, based on severity and emotion. Like if they're deep in like trauma and emotions, then it's usually that one topic. Now, if they're pretty stable, I've known them for a while, they'll say some sideways stuff. I'll say some sideways stuff, meaning things that really have no contextual relevance to the conversation or therapy or their progress in their mental health. And next thing you know, we're talking about, food in Taiwan and why it's better than Texas. I couldn't think of that.
All right.
Yeah. Well, we get into some places and then I'll ask the student, I say, hey man, what was we talking about? And they'll be like, fuck do I know? You're the therapist. I'm like, I won't pay attention.
I don't know what I'm saying.
I don't know what I'm doing half the time. So this scene, you're right. It's about two best friends that are just talking about nothing. And I think that's some of the greatest relationships people will ever have. And hopefully they can experience that. I think you brought it up because he goes through all the funny names. And so this is where we can talk about like race and gender.
Okay.
But before we get into that, I want to talk real quick about weed. And I'm going to kick it to you.
Okay.
So I was talking to a student the other day about weed. I don't care how much you smoke. I don't care how much you smoke. Just don't tell the doctor. Because they're going to get your ass in trouble. And me, I don't care. It's harm reduction. Make sure it's not affecting you. So the other day I posted something on Instagram where I said, for Dungeons and Dragons, I said, when your therapist catches you smoking too much weed, and the dude comments like, what's the definition of too much weed?
Yeah.
Like, I knew he was being sarcastic. So then and he was cool. And I was like, hey, as long as it's not impacting your daily functioning, your daily activities, as long as everything's grinding, like I'm good. If you're just sitting in the house and you ain't showered and you ain't done shit, you ain't with school or work, that's not good. He's like, fully agree. Great definition. I was like, yeah, do your thing, man. I got students slanging it. Hey, that in the thunder with the thunder stick. What'd you call it? Thunder buddies. They sell them thunder buddies.
Thunder stick.
Yeah, I got that thunder stick. Boy.
Hey, it goes boom. Let me tell you.
No comment.
No comment.
No comment. Happy to eat the fifth. So a lot of folks are smoking weed these days, and it is a magnificent thing for some and a horrific thing for others. We're seeing a lot more psychosis in a lot of younger individuals. So the weed and THC is very strong, and it's impacting folks greatly and causing a lot of schisms or bipolar or manic episodes. A lot of panic and dysphoria and dissociation. So be very cautious on what you're smoking and how much you're smoking. Very cautious.
A lot of people lace shit too nowadays.
Shit's laced. So if you're going to like a good, pharmacy or whatever, or one of the nice stores,
Right.
Okay, still be cautious. You need to be very intentful on what you're putting in your body. You're like, oh, chill out, Nas, you fat. Okay, well, yeah, I get it. I'm dying from hot Cheetos. I get it.
Right.
I get it. Calm the fuck down. You're doing 300 milligrams of one brownie when the normal person's supposed to do like 5 to 10.
Yeah, you've known a few people that do that shit. And
yeah, I had some clients, man. I remember one of the boys come in. He said, yeah, I have a 300 milligram brownie. I said, damn, what happened? He said, I was sick for a week.
What a surprise.
I was like, no shit, bro. So just be cautious, people. There's people really getting hurt by ingesting too much THC. So what did he call it? He said, trigger warning. The first batch you're going to hear is called myriad.
Mind rape. Yes.
Yeah. The next one was
he said,
gorilla
they're
panic.
They're coming.
They're coming. I think gorilla panic.
And this is permanent.
You never go full.
I'm assuming the weed dealer is a little racist. Just a little bit.
I didn't think about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the variations are so strong these days. So be safe. If you need someone to go with or be with, do that. You should also know that it does affect the metabolism. I'm not a scientist. I'm just preaching what the doctors have told me that I work with. Saying that the THC, the marijuana, actually affects the metabolism rate of the SSRIs and SNRIs in the body. So it could either increase it, and how it affects you, or it could decrease it. And so the science really isn't out there yet on how it affects these anti-anxiety, antidepression, and psychotic medicines or antipsychotics medicines. So be cautious. If you do got a doctor that you're cool with, let them know that, hey, maybe that is in your repertoire. If there's, hey, you need to back down a little bit, then we go down a little bit. Maybe you're using, most of my clients use THC weed because they're anxious. Then I'm like, okay, well, you're so anxious that you're using THC and it helps, but maybe this anxiety med will help, and then we'll take a little bit of the weed away.
Yeah.
And some doctors don't want to prescribe any medicine because their weed's there, but I'm like, they're using the weed because they're freaking the fuck out and they got to self-medicate. So it's a weird place to be with doctors and medical professionals. I'm always about harm reduction and safety. I wanted to state that. It's a funny clip, Spence.
Yes.
And we might as well talk about weed. It's not legal in the state of Indiana, but when I was in different states, it's all good people on both sides. I dabble,
Just a little bit.
Yeah, one buck gummy and that's it.
Right up there. So kind of going along with it, I mean, do you see it as kind of like in some way like addictive in a way? Because I see a lot of people kind of get a little more dependent on weed as something to kind of calm them down. But then if you need that constantly, isn't that kind of an addictive personality or trait right there?
So it definitely can be addictive because it makes the person feel good, or it takes away pain, anxiety.
And hey, don't get me wrong. Rather be addicted to weed than like, heroin or something like that, or meth. Yeah.
So the question is, are you using it to cope with a medical or psychological issue? Or are you using it as recreational to have fun? If you're using a cope, most likely it's going to increase your usage need and amount. Would you be better off, and would it be cheaper to have a pharmaceutical like in a prescription? Maybe. That's up to each individual.
Right.
If you're using a daily, Spence, depends on how much per day. If you start going like you're high all day, that's not good.
Right.
That's not good. That's probably not safe for you and others when you're working or driving. And everyone, I know a lot of folks are very functional. if it's taking place as something else, like a legit, you need the medicine for anxiety and panic attacks, you're not going to sleep. There's a lot of studies that are saying that it's causing more anxiety, actually, and it's worsening your anxieties because it's degrading some of the neurochemicals or receptors in your brain. Be very cautious if you're using it just to cope for that or sleep. Do what you want to do, but also know that, there's some evidence showing like, hey, this ain't the move. Using it as recreation, do your thing. Legal state, do it in your legal states. It's not a legal state. It's not a legal state. That's all I'm going to say. It's a big topic. All the counselors are worried about it. All of them are talking about it. Some of them won't even see you in therapy if you're doing it.
Really? That's great.
Oh, they won't? Yeah, no, they'll be like, you need to be sober. I'm like, I'm not even fucking sober.
Even though I know your ass drinking while you're off the job, so I don't want to hear that shit.
And I'd be like, I know a lot of you fucking counselors are like high as shit, but then you're going to get mad at the student for being high? And I'm like, fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
That's a little bit.
A lot of these counselors, medicated, depressed, crazy as shit.
Somewhat hypocritical.
Yeah.
Somewhat.
You need to be off. You need to be off the lettuce. You need to be off the tofu.
You need to stop being fully vegan. All right.
Yeah. Well, you can't be California sober because I guess that's only weed.
Yeah.
We go on Texas sober. You can't do shit other than racism. And Christ.
Yes, and Jesus.
Lean on him. When you're da.
I kind of wanted to see where you go with that, and it went nowhere. It's not easy, is it, to improv?
It's not.
It's not.
It's not easy being
not.
this gorgeous. So back to the friend thing. That's the weed.
Yeah.
Bro. So, right, some of y'all know people with crazy ass names. I ain't never met a Tiffany that went crazy as shit. I ain't never met one. I'm sure there's some other names out there too. There's a lot of, it's all stereotypes.
Becky.
It's all racism. Becky. I know a couple Beckys. Or Becca. Becky and Becca are different.
Those are different. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Becca, a little bit more respectable. Becky.
Becky.
She's sucking dick behind a dumpster.
Oh my God. So what's Bobby doing? Same shit. Eat ass.
You know what Bobby doing?
Hey, Bobby, you getting down? It's the Thunder Buddy. Hey, Spencer, I just want to mention right now, you're looking good in a different spectrum hoodie.
Well, thank you so much. Where you can get it? Where can you get it, Naz?
I think you can get it by clicking on the link down below. So
click down below.
Click down below. But you remind me when I was in prison, and they all had the yellow jumpsuit, and that those were the best times.
You know what's fucked up is I was listening to Lil Dicky's new album, and he has that song, the prison song, that he did. Do you remember that?
I do remember that.
So calm down, buddy.
I'm coming down. So it is funny that and some folks will want to cancel folks about different things, but we all make fun of different things when it comes to gender, when it comes to race, when it comes to like names. And it's quite funny to poke fun of your friends or to poke fun of your own culture and your own race. I love making like Juan jokes or Jesus, like Jesus jokes. I love making those. Spence, I'm not sure if you got any jokes that you like messing around with, but I love making those. Or like, when another Arab, like I met a friend the other day, my homie's friend, and he's like, yeah, he's got a pretty common Arab name. I'm like, it's Muhammad, isn't it? He's like, close, Mustafa. I was like, damn it, that was the other one.
It's either Mustafa or Muhammad. Either way.
And I love how like we can riff about it being in that same race or ethnicity. Right. But if you were not in that race, then that is going to be harmful. That is going to be racist. That is going to be hella gendered. Unless like the friend group was cool with that and you co-sign that and you're with that. But like if it's some random people like, oh, is your name Muhammad? Oh, hold up now, fucking Bobby Joe, Tammy Lynn.
See, but that's the thing though. Also, is like we can make fun of like anyone named Karen.
Yeah,
automatically.
Everyone shits on Karens, and I actually know a few good Karens. I know a few good Karens.
That's what I'm saying. Until, But, and that's what I'm kind of saying is like we can make fun of that and be okay with it, and it's fine. I don't know. I think everybody should kind of just lighten up a little bit. Fucking
True.
be okay with taking a little bit of a ribbing because of your name or whatever, just
It
a little
depends
bit.
on
Now, if you're bullying somebody into, you know,
unacceptable.
to like depression or anything like that, that's a whole different thing. But like
Maniacal.
light ribbing and stuff like that, that's one thing.
Or if they tell you don't do it anymore, then that means don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Right? Because I've been like, hey man, I'm no more jokes on like this or that. And I'm like, oh cool. It's like, hey, I'm in a sensitive place. I can't really mess. I'm like, okay. It should be noted
Right.
that we talk about these also jokes and making fun of people's either names. And I've had so many funny experiences with my name being butchered by, other people. Graduation. I remember the president of the university when I graduated with my bachelor's degree. I phonetically put it on there and messed it up because I can't spell worth of shit. And I was like, I don't know. And then the president shakes my hand after they butcher it. And he's like, don't worry, son. We'll get it right on the diploma.
There you go.
I was like, there you go. I suck so bad with names because I'm dyslexic and I forget shit so quickly that I'll go into Google and I'll do the pronunciation into Google and like listen to it 3 times before I go get a client out in the waiting room. Because I want to be very respectful. I want to make sure I do this correctly because I know how much names mean to people.
Yeah.
And I know that saying a person's name lets you know that they do recognize them and they do see them. Because if you're just using like their pronouns or like, hey, you, hey, what's up, man? Then it's not as like ethical. It doesn't show that you're actually paying attention and connected to them. But if you call someone by their name, they're like, oh shit, they're paying attention.
Right.
So I really enjoy getting people's names correct. In saying that, I know that some of these names do carry some weight. And by weight, I mean like, I know the name Nazir and some folks, now it's more popular, but a lot of Nazirs that you saw were terrorists or they were portrayed as terrorists in like Showtime shows. And my dad would say, oh, there he is, right? Another Nazir. So we're scared.
Yeah.
I think of my grandfather wanting to name all his children white names, and he did, Anglo-Saxon, right, white names, to make sure that they weren't bullied. And that he told my father, don't name him Nazir. He will be made fun of. And I was. Brazier, queer, right, a bunch of different things. Instead of Tufik, they call me 2 foot all the time. Interesting things. And I really didn't take no smoke about that. I was like, yeah, it is what it is. But still, there are ways in a lot of people to have ethnic names in a white world. So it can get real dangerous. And so he's making fun of like white women and white trash.
Yeah.
But for some folks that do have those names, because they didn't get to choose those names, they might actually interpret those Spence of like being like a trashy individual or like worthless, or maybe I'm destined to be, a little bit more promiscuous or to like be treated poorly by men. And that's not actually true. That's what I'm getting at is, maybe you do got this name. Like one of my homies wanted to name his kid DeBrickashaw. Hey, he's like, man, ain't no one gonna fuck with that kid. They call him DeBrick. And I'm like, bro, you can't name your kid DeBrickashaw. And every time I say like his name's DeBrick, people are like, that's ghetto. And I'm like, yeah, but also it's cool as shit. Like my boy was huge, man.
He's gonna fuck with him.
Hey man, I wanted to name my kid.
Sure?
I wanted to name my kid Rondo. So I mean, and then if it was a girl, Rayjana.
Look, I wanted to name my kid Ahsoka. So
hey,
it is what it is. Ahsoka's a good name. I don't know what y'all
not
talking
bad.
about. Hey, it's good. It's good. But Rondo Zerka. Actually, it sounds pretty good.
See?
Not gonna lie.
Rajon, I like Rajon Zerka. That sounds Arab.
The brick though. That's
a
tough one.
Hey, the brick.
Tough one.
The brick got that
That's
thunder
a tough
stick.
name.
The brick got the thunder.
Even
the brick, the thunder
name,
stick.
That name getting made by white people, black people, all the
What's your name?
people.
The Brickashaw.
The Brickashaw. I'm like, damn, that's the blackest name I ever heard in my life.
Hey,
that's like 8 names in one.
Hey, that's too many. I can't spell that shit.
Brick and Shaw.
But you could see that as you get into different spaces, your name may make you feel funny. And there's a reason why on these research papers that they started eliminating people's names on them. And like, because they were people were saying that because of the name said Ashley or Tommy, that when it said an ethnic name, that they devalued it. When it was a woman's name, versus a dude's name, they devalued it. So start taking the names away, and they're like, holy shit, all these people of color and women start getting higher marks.
Right.
So we make fun of these names, and I think it's okay, but also know that there is some substance behind it and how it does actually hurt people. Because you see some people and you like, damn, your mama named you that, dog? Like, damn, you're going to have to change that shit, man. I ain't gonna lie, my kid, I like the Brick Shaw. The Brick, what up, Brick?
If you call your kid the Brick Shaw,
Hey.
I'm going to go in on.
Yeah. Hey, he'll knock your ass out, Joe.
Hey, you the brick.
I'll sell
You
him.
the cement? Like, what is happening?
You
here?
the brick, cement. I don't know. I can't really think of much shit that goes with bricks.
Won't get blown down, that's for sure.
That's right.
That's for sure.
Let that motherfucker come at that
The
house.
wolf ain't gonna blow that house down.
Nope.
Okay.
We're gonna blow you though.
No. It's too easy. Too easy.
Way too
Come on.
easy. So interesting topic when it comes to names. I thought it would be cool to kind of talk about like ethnic names and then also women in general and how we may hurt individuals unintentionally or within shows. I've met a lot of good Karens. Met a lot of good people with a lot of names. And so I think it's interesting being in therapy, being a brown therapist with a brown name. And they're like, oh, Nas, you one of the good ones. I'm like, okay, so I'm going to have to fix some systemic racism. I'm the first brown person you've ever talked to, aren't I?
I'm gonna have to be a little hood.
Yeah. So
just a little bit.
I'm going to have to scare. If you want that fucking cookout card, you're going to have to earn it.
So kind of go with that though. I mean, it's like, do you ever feel like you have to be a little bit more hood or a little bit more tougher emotionally towards people just so like they don't think that you're that type of like good quote unquote person?
So actually with my name and ethnicity, I like to act a little bit whiter in spaces, more proper, more professional.
Okay.
When I'm in black and brown spaces, they know who Nas is. And that name
Right.
carries a lot of credit and a lot of black folks love it. They're like, Nas, nasty Nas. I only got one mic. Oh, right. And then they just start freaking out. So it's a lot of love and respect amongst folks of color, specifically black folk.
Right.
White folk, they're like sus about it. Oh, you one of them. You want I'm not gonna say any like slurs right now, but you one of them.
Right.
And so with different folks, it's different things. And you learn to code switch, but I've always enjoyed it going around black folk and brown folk that love rap, and they're like nasty Nas. Like even when we're playing Fortnite, Spence.
Yeah.
They're like nasty Nas. Oh shit! I'm like, let's go.
The world is yours.
Yeah. What up, young king? I'm like, yeah. What up, dog? What up? Dog?
What up, man?
What up, man? See, and there's some ancestral history and pride behind that. Nazareth, where Jesus was born, a lot of different things. So my name brings a lot of pride. At times it brings some sadness. So it's a funny scene where they're, kind of degrading some of these names, which it can lead into a lot of degradation, whatever. You can fuck up a lot of people's views on their names and how we view them. So it's a thing. Interesting topic. Names, weed. Let's get into this next scene, which is probably the most therapeutic, the most thundered stick there is.
Thundered stick.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
You're really sticking with that.
No,
huh?
it didn't make sense.
Okay.
I just edited the pod where I kept doing the power fist.
Yeah, I remember.
It was so bad.
I remember. I remember it good.
Yeah.
So leading up to this scene, John and Ted, John's girlfriend made Ted move out after a prostitute shit on their floor.
Happens. It happens.
It happens. It happens. And so now they're not living together, but they still see each other like every day. And they go, and then John and his girlfriend go to a party. And it's a very important party for her because it's like her employers and stuff. And so John gets a call from Ted being like, hey, Flash Gordon, is at this party I'm at right now. You gotta come over. He's like, I can't. She'll kill me. She'll kill me. And then he does anyways, and he goes over. And then they break up because she finds out that he's at this party where he's like doing coke and just
Hey,
just doing shit.
you know.
But yeah, and so him and Ted have a huge blowout. Have a huge blowout because you know, he lost, his lady. Because he's friends with a teddy bear that puts him in certain situations. And so then we see this scene, and finally Ted's just telling him like, "Hey, you have to kind of take accountability for yourself. I'm a teddy bear. I don't have to like follow the same rules as you do. I'm not a person. I am a bear. So you kind of have to start taking accountability for your life and what you do."
Hey, facts, man.
And then they fight, and John gets the shit beat out of him. Really does.
Yep.
Really does. Wasn't even close. Wasn't even close.
No, teddy bear kicked his ass, man. It's how I felt
Really
yesterday. I'm like, I just got my ass kicked by life. Yeah.
My dick is squished between the TV.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. It was just a squish dick. It was bad.
It's just all squishy.
Yeah. Jesus. I feel like the Covenant just blew up in my pants.
No.
It's a Halo reference, folks.
Good for you.
Yeah. So the biggest part of it was what Spence said. We can get into all the stuff and relationship stuff, but the biggest thing is, you've got this teddy bear that is a little at fault for some things, is an instigator, is an enabler. You could have a little bit more respect for that person's time or money, relationship. At the end of the day, it's a teddy bear.
Yeah.
And so maybe, in the real world, it's going to be a friend that's doing this. It's going to be a friend or family member that's pulling you into a darker direction. But he was right. In my Robert De Niro face, he's right. Hey, you got to take accountability. No one's forcing you to do anything. You made the choice to go to that person's house. You made the choice to go party instead of study. You made the choice to step out on your partner. You made the choice to continue more drugs and alcohol. You made the choice to sit at home and to not socialize. Maybe you should have because you were so depressed and you need a connection. It's us that are making the choices every day. And the world and contextualization of things and shit forces us into choices. Yes, I know that. But in these moments when he was making poor things to hurt his partner, to hurt himself, to just continue to be stuck because he's kind of like depressed on where he's at in life, well, now you're just metastasizing things and you are now the problem.
Mm-hmm.
But you're blaming it on the bear. Because it hurts to take accountability to know that you're the one that keeps fucking things up. So the bear was right. What's homeboy's name? White dude?
John.
So John.
John. I say a Boston accent.
What?
Yeah.
He's a yinzer.
John.
I think that's what they say on Pat McAfee.
A yinzer?
A yinzer. I think that's only Pittsburgh. Anyone with an accent's a yinzer. I don't know what it means. It's probably a horrific slur for white people.
It's probably some type. It sounds like a slur.
Yeah. Well, fuck it.
I'm going to look this up right now.
Yinzer.
I'm going to
look it up.
What a yinzer is. It's probably going to be something horrific. Going to probably put me on a list now.
Yeah.
Let's see. Like yinzer was historically used to identify the typical blue-collar people from the Pittsburgh region who often spoke with a heavy Pittsburghese accent.
Yep. So whenever you hear that Pittsburghy accent, he's a yinzer. He calls him yinzer.
What the fuck is a Pittsburgh accent?
So
that's my question.
It's kind of like Bill Cower. Bill Cower. Bill Cower.
Oh, like kind of like
yeah.
Mouth wide open.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotcha.
The Bears. It's kind of like the Bears, but it's
you chose Chicago.
Chicago.
They all got messed up at. And you know what's fucked up is that they want to say Minnesotans have some weird accents.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Sometimes I hit the in the. Let me tell you. All right.
Oh, you see, it's a nicer one though. Where the ones in Pittsburgh, I'm just gonna be real now, so you can cancel us later. They sound a little stupid. Like, it's so fucking stupid. Welcome to the show, folks.
Stop stuffing fucking.
Stop eating fucking pennies, you idiot.
What are those potato things called again?
Spuds.
Idiot. Idiot. God, where are they known for?
Oh, pierogies. Pierogies.
Yeah. Take the pierogies out of your mouth.
Take the pierogi out of your fucking upper. Are you fucking dipping in a pierogi right now?
They're dipping pierogies. They just.
They have.
Potato and cheese.
Hey, that shit's good though.
It is. It's delicious, but take them out. You don't have to leave them in.
Fuck, we're talking about accountability. I deal with it all the time with clients, brother. I'll be in there. So I'm Ted in this moment. I'm kicking their ass right now. Like, hey man, what is it going to take to get you to understand? Like, you smoke weed all day, every day, and you don't go to class. Of course you're going to fail. Well, I don't know what to do to get better. Maybe you should lay off the motherfucking lettuce. I got a client the other day said, you know what? I'm done with weed. I said, I feel so much better. I said, yeah, you ain't fucking sleeping all day. I went to all my classes with no shit. He was on the fucking moon and Jupiter last week. I'm going to do good this semester. No shit. You actually read. Motherfucker, everyone, it's my ADHD. You smoking way too much ganja, bro. Motherfucking skunk cloud behind you when you walk and shit. Yeah. There's roadkill out here? Oh, Jesus. Call an ambulance. So it's really hard for people to take accountability. I think, I'm pretty good at it now. I'm maybe too good at it sometimes, where I'll like take accountability when it actually is someone else's fault. They might have caused something or done something. But at times I'll dip into like, man, they did this, they did that, they did this, and this is what made this fuck up. I'm like, no, I might have did this, and this that led to this. I know what my actions were. I know what me eating that cheesecake, 3 times, 4 times, 7 times, what? 8 times this weekend.
What?
I know what led. I just dipped into them gummy bears you left here. What?
They're good, aren't they?
Bro, yeah. The one bag you got.
The white packaging?
Yeah, the other bag was hard as a fucking rock.
I know. I just noticed that when I brought them there. I was like, wow, these ones are really squishy. These ones are not.
Bro, I sat it down on the table and that bitch went thud.
Almost cracked the counter open.
Bro, I'm going to take them to work and give them to students.
Yeah, you might as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, those other ones, delicious.
Awesome. Yeah, delicious.
I was surprised at how good they were.
No, I've had them before. That's a good brand. Okay. Yeah, it's a good brand. Accountability is a huge thing, folks. And so if you're hanging around a bunch of teddy bears that are, fucking around, for lack of a better word, then know that's what you're hanging around. Knowing that's what you're choosing to hang around with. Show me who your friends are. I'll show you who you are. Show me who your friends are, and I'll show you who you are. They're messing around and getting into this or that, and, breaking and entering, not going to classes, treating women bad, being racist and shit. Student told me the other day, so, my whole family be racist and saying like horrible things. Like, I'm like, oh, that, I bet you they saying that one word. And they said, yep. We're talking about the N word. And they said, yep. I said, so you're racist too, huh? They said, no, I'm not. I said, well, hey, show me who you hang around, I'll show you who you are. And I said, you can say it right now if you want to say it. And they're like, I ain't saying nothing.
They were so about to say it. You almost caught them too.
I almost got you, Becky.
Almost got you.
I almost got you.
I knew it was white trash name.
I knew it. Them be the ones. Them be the ones. So just be cautious, folks. As do your best to make the best choices for you. And if you're fucking up and, own up to it. Apologize. Do better. Make small incremental choices to do better. It's not always someone else's fault. It's not. It's normally your fault. Now, if you're in a relationship, And that's different. I'm not talking about relationships with your partner, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, right? You know, that's both of y'all fault. Both of y'all fucking up.
Both y'all terrible. Just so you know.
Both y'all getting into the thundersticks. Yeah. Yeah. You know, something wrong in this relationship. So, but in there though is to also take accountability for relationships. But I'm just saying, just, you know, make sure you're setting a boundary where they're not completely shitting on you, because it is a two-way street.
Yes.
So I thought that was probably the best thing that we looked at therapeutically. That is the biggest one that folks can relate to. It's like, man, get your shit together. And then the therapist goes in and just pretty much beats them in the head with accountability.
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to make sure we at least had one that was a little bit more therapeutic.
Therapeutic.
Just, you know, we love to do laughs, but then we also have to do a little bit more therapy in there too. So
wonderful scene. So, you know, the last scene though. You know, the last scene is how I feel like I take clients to therapy and I get them all better. And then I'm like, so how you feel? Will you take care of me forever and ever? I'm like, hey, kid.
I'm just kidding.
Hey, kid, you drink the water?
My kidney hurt.
Hey, it always terrifies me when like students will come to the office and like, oh my man, they're gonna be good, and then they come back just sobbing or broken. Like they come back, and I know obviously he's making fun of folks with disabilities, and so that's like a little taboo, a little fucked up, but whatever, it's humor.
It is what it is.
But me as a therapist will see them like they look fine, they look good, right? The teddy bear looked normal, and then all of a sudden they start talking. You're like, oh, this is gonna be a bad session. Some shit happened. And then sometimes, like I was prepared for doomsday coming back from Christmas break. I'm like, damn, this is going to be, I told the student too, I said, man, I thought you were going to be doing terrible. I thought we were going to throw your ass in the hospital. Shit. I think you over here doing fine and shit, all happy as big. You mad. I like you being mad. I just didn't want you to be sad or suicidal.
Right.
You know, they surprise you. They surprise you. Sometimes the students will be bright and bubbly in the waiting room. And then I learned this to never say how you doing in the waiting room. It's the dumbest shit. How you doing? They're like, good. And you? And then as soon as you sit down, they're like, oh, no.
I lied. I
lost my teddy bear. Someone took my stapler.
Don't worry. We have 10,000 more in this office.
Yeah.
Take one.
Take one.
No, they're mine.
So I've learned to have like an awkward walk from the waiting room over to the office. I'll just like look at the ceiling and shit and be like, yeah. I'm like, get in there, you jackass.
Get in the room.
The other day, I'm such a piece of shit. One of my boys I've been working with, man, I said, man, I need some good luck. Trying to get this job, man. I need some good luck. I'm going to check my email. And I said, damn it. He said, what? I said, you old jinxie ass. No good luck having mother. I said, man, fuck you, man. He said, damn, what did I do? I said, I didn't get the email saying I got the job. He said, how is that my fault? I'm just saying, your jinxie ass, he was so fucked up.
Yeah, you. Sometimes your tone seems real.
I know.
Like right now, it's like, oh, I'm just joking. But in the moment.
No, in the moment.
Fuck you.
Fuck you, Bobby Jones. Hey,
goddamn Bobby.
Let's be real. If his name, was like Ethan or something like that, but his name would have been DeBrickershaw, I wouldn't have said shit to DeBrickershaw. I'm like, how you doing, mister?
I ain't fucking with no DeBrickershaw.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something.
Hey, man, you having a good time, brother? Okay, good.
All right. Well,
hey, man.
See you next session for nothing.
Yeah, you're a good person. Right?
Yeah, you're doing great. Great thing.
Ethan in there. Fuck you.
Imagine if you were just blurting out, fuck you, DeBrickershaw.
Instant fire.
It just doesn't sound right.
No.
Doesn't sound right.
You ain't getting that. I mean, I've been working with some clients for so long. Our relationship is so rock solid. I'm able to have different, vibes with folks because they know I got their back 100% no matter what. We're going to go through that fucking wall together. And it's quite lovely. So it's funny to see this scene, and obviously, right, I'm going to let it ride because I don't really care. But we're going to let it ride. And it's actually one of my worst nightmares, though, is that the student is like going to fall apart. My story and I'll be done. kid I was mentoring. They come in and just talking. Then they told me something. I wasn't ready, but it's just a mentorship. It wasn't a therapy. They told me something very traumatic that happened to them, and it gutted me. I mean, it just gutted me. And the kid goes, "What's wrong?" I wasn't ready. I didn't have my therapy mask on. I wasn't ready to take on what they just said. And they said, "What's wrong?" I said, "Nothing. I'm fine." They said, "No, something's wrong. I've never seen you look like this." And dude, I started fucking tearing up. I was so pissed and angry. So pissed and angry. But I was able to check it and hold it. And they just go, "Are you okay?" I said, "I'll be fine, honey. Don't worry about it." Boy, I tell you. So now I'm always prepared. After that moment, which happened like 6 years ago, 5 years ago, I'm always prepared that whenever a student comes into my office, or I'm initiating any conversation, always be prepared for the worst. The mask is always on. That way I don't get rattled, and then they see me rattled, and now they fall apart because I'm. Now, if I fall apart because it's just a wonderful story or a gut-wrenching story, but in that moment, it became about me and it was their trauma, but it became about me because I wasn't prepared. So, I mean, I fucked it up. I think it was
And
a
I think that's
normal.
also important, though.
Go ahead.
I think that's important too. As a therapist, sometimes show emotions.
Oh, yeah.
Because a lot of the time, and you've said this also, is like therapists just don't react to anything that you're saying. They're just kind of like writing down notes, robotic, just like, well, I'm trying to move on to my next client, all that stuff.
Yep. Pretty common.
It's not really listening. It's more about just kind of getting through something instead. And so, um, I think a lot of people can appreciate when their therapist can actually emote in a way, especially if it's something that's either like really good or even if it's really bad
Yep.
too.
You're spot on with it. Usually you like them to break down, and right, you don't want them to see. I mean, they could tell I was like 0 to 100, and they're like, "Uh-oh." Just wasn't ready for it. Was not ready for it for this individual, and just a regular, just sit down. I'm like, "God damn it, kid. You could have fucking warned me." I'm blaming them now. Take accountability, Nas. Take accountability. But I mean, I'm just saying this because it happens. So I'm always prepared now. So that way I'm not like John. I'm like, "Oh, you're still beautiful." Jeez.
You're a beautiful person.
Yeah. All right. So all you yinzers out there, thank you for joining us for this pod. I had some fun today. And if you didn't, then, you just watch a different pod.
Yeah. Watch a different one because this is how we are.
That's how we roll.
Get over it.
We're a little slow.
Pansies.
Yeah. I might have put my finger in a socket too many times.
Oh, oof.
Got dangerous
somewhere
there.
else
You got a
there.
little scared there, didn't you?
I put my finger right in there. Two sometimes if I'm feeling adventurous. Anyways, thank you everybody for watching. Shout out to our collaborator. Oh no, Roller.
Oh no.
Hey. Oh no, I was right. Get your 10% off by using the code DSP10 and by going in the description down below.
Yes.
10% off your entire order. They have some great materials, including plastic, aluminum, steel,
Yep.
and then also silicone as well.
Yep.
And so you can get your very own fidget roller too, just by going down and using our code. So go for it, do it, and then check out all of our other great collaborators and get up to 20% off all of their orders as well. So go check them out. And if you have Peacock, go check out Ted in the series Ted. Hilarious. They did a great job casting for the younger John. He sounds and in a way kind of looks just like Mark Wahlberg if you kind of squint. Okay, I see it. So go check it out. And it's hilarious. So all right, with that, I'm Spencer. That's Nas. This is a Different Spectrums podcast.
All right, everyone, much love and take care of yourselves.
Or don't.
That's completely up to you. Peace. That's one of them thick ones.